Purohit there. However, even the Bombay High Court has observed and granted and given out that verdict today for denying the bail. Sadhvi Pragya, of course, has been given that bail on what we're given to understand on health grounds, perhaps. It's a conditional bail, nevertheless. Our correspondent Urvashi Khona getting us all of those details on how the court has observed both of the bail plea applications that were put in. Urvashi, help us understand on what's really worked this time around against Col Purohit, because the NIA in the past 1 year, of course, has made it amply clear that both the main accused are actually innocent in this case.
Well, if we talk about the health grounds that you were mentioning, it's not only the health grounds which has, granted bail to Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, but then yes, it was one of the point of argument that was there. Adding on to that, if we talk about Col Purohit, we've seen time and again the rejections that have taken place, and this time around there were two important arguments that were submitted in the Bombay High Court. One was about illegal detention, and the second, as it was mentioned, that it was ATS who had planted the whole RDX theory. Let's have word with her and get to know. Whenever we see that this whole case seems to be a lot of complicated, there has been rejections of bail pleas in past as well taken place, in fact, by the same court. And this time around, it worked for Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, but not for Col Purohit.
Yes, Urvashi, that's what I was saying before you joined us, before the Bombay High Court gave the verdict, that we need to understand that the circumstances in both the cases, Sadhvi Pragya Singh and Lieutenant Colonel Purohit, are completely different. Whereas Sadhvi Pragya Singh has been given a clean chit by NIA very clearly in the last year, that has not been the case in the matter of Lieutenant Colonel Purohit. So NIA has still maintained through all its responses to the bail application that it would stand and oppose the bail plea, especially if whatever still maintained through all its responses to the bail application, that it would stand and oppose the bail plea, especially if whatever evidence that Purohit has claimed in the court is true, then let him produce it as favorable evidence during the time of the trial, once the trial commences, which is yet to commence. So that was the major difference. Also, Lieutenant Colonel Purohit had contended in the court, as you rightly said, that the evidence about the RDX was planted by the ATS. That was one of the main evidence that was produced by the ATS. The other evidence, thing that was also argued by Lieutenant Colonel Purohit was that as you know, that apart from the RDX, the court of inquiry was conducted by the Indian Army. So he had said in the court that the court of inquiry itself had found that Lieutenant Colonel Purohit was innocent and that he had no role to play in the blast, that there was no RDX that went missing. So that was one of the major contentions that was produced, that was argued by Lieutenant Colonel Purohit in the court during seeking bail plea from the court.
Very important point that Vinay has made. Yes, the court of inquiry reports that even NewsX came out and showed part of it, that how the whole court of inquiry report came out and gave a kind of clean chit for Col Purohit, wherein it was mentioned that, and this whole court of inquiry papers also played an important role, telling their lines, telling the lines of Col Purohit, that how he was mentioning each and every move of his to his seniors. Now that played a very important role, but then now, while rejecting a bail plea, what are the grounds now? That is to see for further.
Many thanks for getting us those updates. We are once again switching focus there to Raipur in Chhattisgarh with the visiting Union Home Minister